Probably going to be a good episode in my mind because of my misunderstanding, I think. My blind spot of dopamine and the lack of that people have.
Yes, there could be some grace.
Indeed.
However, we still have to hold ourselves accountable.
Accountability, yeah.
Because that's one of the things that actually this weekend Anita and I were talking about. And actually, Pastor Ben, he's new for the New Haven Church, I think.
It's the same Ben I know, right? Not the one that used Lundquist, no. It's
He's
a different
younger.
Ben. Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. So he was talking about, my brain is not functioning from lack of sleep this weekend. But something came up. Oh, there was like Jason Hansen, so Eric's brother.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday night, we were just off on our times. We were ending early, and then some things didn't go over. And Pastor Ben was supposed to have a short devotion, but it got missed. Oh. And so Anita was like, "That's not fair. Hey, we can't do that." And she kind of brought in the idea that pastors, they're held to a different standard, which to some degree I understand, but there's also human, but also me as a therapist and a youth director, I'm held to a different standard. Yeah. I'm not going to come in here drunk. I'm not going to come in here, booty shorts on. That's not appropriate.
That's right. It's not gonna work.
That's just not how. So we are held to a different standard. Yeah. And I do think to a degree there is that. But what happens when our leaders aren't showing that example? Mm-hmm. And so that's where that hypocrisy can come in. And that can be difficult when you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
If this is something we're expected to, lead. Yeah. And that can be hard because that's where I can definitely struggle to have grace sometimes.
Yeah. In my mind, I think about, I've been kind of trying to boil it down and studying the beast because I've been dealing a lot with just a lot of unkindness with other humans. And for me, I err the other direction where I will not say there's no such thing as being too kind.
You can be enabling.
Enabling. There, that's the other extreme. I appreciate that. I didn't have a word. That's exactly what it is. I'm enabling to everyone. I'm the innate people. I wasn't
saying you were, actually. I was just saying that's the general.
I see. Oh, no, I will affirm what you just said.
So I just want to put that out there. I wasn't calling you an enabler.
No.
Just saying I think the word is enabling that you're meaning.
Yeah. No, I appreciate. I'm so glad you had a word for it. This is why, because I didn't know it's because saying too nice, that doesn't make sense. But enabling is what I am, and it's so intricate and well crafted over the years.
It's not even meant to. You have the best intentions, and this is for myself too.
Yeah.
We have the best intentions, but unfortunately, sometimes those best intentions backfire. And then the book "Self-Driven Child" that I think I've mentioned a couple of times.
Oh yes,
it talks about that.
Yeah. I think I found that book.
It's so good. I need to listen to it again because, like most things, you get something new with it, especially as kids get older. It's like the whole point. Like kids are like, "Hey, they can walk. No, let's go. Let's use the feet God gave you."
That's right. I'm gonna save that. What you said, the self-driven.
You may have a daughter-in-law and granddaughters, and
that's a good point. Yeah, very good point. So tangled and untangled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So many. Those are so good. Like. Of the epitome of as a parent to get kids through and feel like you are not fully crashing and burning, those two are really good.
Yeah, for sure. So that enabling feature that in the end, I'm coming to a place in my life where now I'm kind of not, I don't know if I should say paying for it, but it's all coming after me now. It's all the consequences of our actions. Is that what we call those? I don't like those at all. Let's not talk about that,
However, there can be good consequences. I think you've talked about it.
We did talk about that.
Good, natural, and negative.
Yeah. And so that's been a thing. And so I think, why was I bringing that up? Now I'm
nice.
Yeah. So now I come to a place. What was the opposite of that? Was enabling, but then the other side of that was something else. Anyways, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Later. But that's something I'm learning right now with other humans because I notice a lot of unkindness in the world. Not just today or now. It's always been there.
It's more publicized now.
It's more publicized.
So we see it. And I think that's the hard part is anything worse? Have you noticed, last year? Yeah, it was. When all the plane crashes were happening.
Yeah.
Have you seen that recently?
I have not. What's up
But
with
do
that?
you think the planes have stopped crashing?
They have not.
No, it's not being publicized
Not being
anymore.
publicized anymore.
So
Damn.
unfortunately, this goes the same thing. What we see through social media and everything, it is not, a lot of it's not any different than what it ever has been. It's just now there's a visual on it.
Yeah, visual. Yeah, man, it's incredible.
And it just goes to show how easy it is to manipulate our fears. That doesn't mean that there's no factual basis on that and that we shouldn't be fearful or aware. Yeah. It's just what we put our attention on is what we're going to be more aware of.
Man, that's almost biblical, like what you dwell on, what you you become. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
What you eat is what you are. If you ever remember, you're a chicken. Blah blah blah.
I would be a chicken, actually, if that were the case. I would be an enabling chicken. So there was a reason why I brought that up. But with all the unkindness in the world, I think like now I've come to a place where it's not that how people get tired of stuff. You like I've exhibited. Oh, yours is very loud. Okay, yours is. Let's see it.
La la la. I don't know.
La, I'm 2, so I'm gonna say this one's. How was that for you?
That's better.
Okay, I gotta turn mine up for my
Why do
handicap.
these always get unscrewed?
I do notice
Someone's
that.
messing with them.
I know. It's like wear and tear. I don't know how that would happen. I don't know.
Someone's screwing the other direction.
Exactly. But so now I'm coming to a place where I'm trying to be more intentional, not going the other direction. Like I'm so tired of it. And now nobody gets enabling. And it's like that's not.
Yeah. So not that you're ever going to experience this on your side of things, but your wife might. There is a point during this new phase of hormonal change of the I don't give a poo.
Poo rip dandy doodle.
I'm like, okay, this is no. So there's a group on Facebook called We Do Not Care Club. And she has gotten so famous so quickly, and she's hilarious. Like she has a highlighter and she has like skewed glasses. She's just like, we do not care if the sock's been on the floor for a month and nobody's picking it up because we're not going to do it anymore. And
she is making
it's hilarious. But she has now like met Halle Berry and just started as a random person and like woman talking about middle-aged women and perimenopause and all that. And it's funny. But now she's got her own book and
incredible.
But it's the We Do Not Care Club. And this is kind of what it sounds like. But I think as age, have you ever gone and talked to people in the nursing home?
Yes.
How many of them care?
They have a very low care threshold.
They care about babies and animals.
But
anything else, they do not care.
That's incredible.
Because we've lived so much life by that point. It's like, I've seen it all.
I've seen it all. Man, what would happen? Would that be a bad thing if those of us in this phase of our life where there's the imperative and the tyranny of the now, is that what if we arrived there? Would that be a terrible thing?
I think it's a phase we're getting to at some point.
I think so.
Whether we like it or not.
That's true. Yeah.
But we won't care when we get there.
That's a good, see, that's problem solved. All right, there you go. It won't matter.
This is why if you've ever watched any vampire shows, at the end, they're like, at this point, I just don't care. I've lived it. I've seen it all.
Yeah, they've been alive for so many centuries, is what you're saying? Yeah. Man, that's incredible. Yeah. Man. Well, I'm in a phase right now of intentionality.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to go the other direction of the nursing home yet. But I do want to be mindful. And so that's going to be hard though, because I don't want to people who I think you might be one of these people. Their facial expressions
says it all.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah. My wife is the same way. And there's a few others that I know, and they're just like, and so if you're preaching and you look down and you see these people, you're like, they're just like, that's not landing.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're like looking at my face. You're like, is she confused? Does this make sense?
No. But so for me, there might be some of that face. I might be doing some face
I don't know that I've ever seen that on you.
Yeah, I don't.
Honestly, I think you just have the face of, compassion and
tourism.
It's like, okay,
Yeah. No, yeah, it is just, there's no reality that would be presented that I would be surprised. I would just be like, oh, okay, pink elephants.
I mean, hello, last night, the video you sent me of Aiden last night with Bobby, Bill, whatever, the third.
You remembered. You remembered.
I don't think I have it right, but I'm not surprised by that name, like immediately. But my mom, I told her about that and she just started laughing.
Yeah.
That's what I would call, I think I was telling you. So I used to call my grandmother always after I would leave the office, my grandparents, and then tell them, and then always the next Aiden. What did he do? What did he say? Like, I think I told you about when he thought testing one of the other kids' reflexes with poking them in the elbow. It was the second day of school starting, and I hit the teacher walking on my own. And I could tell on her face, she's trying not to laugh. I was like, uh-oh. And he's like, so Aiden, you're like, yeah, what it's almost like, what happened now? And she's like, well, Aiden poked a kid with the pencil. I was like, oh, okay. And what was the explanation? He's like, and that's when she started laughing. He's like, well, when I asked him, she's like, I was just trying to check his reflexes. Great. He processes so fast. Obviously, but he has ADHD, and so he is very impulsive. Yeah. But the fact that he can come up with an explanation that quickly instead of, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's on it. He's on it. And whenever I'm around that guy, I have to be on it. I have to be on my toes. And so, what you saw in that video was just a little bit
Aiden.
of...
That's Aiden.
I love it. I love it. He has great memory, too. We were kind of reminiscing when my office was rearranged, different Bible studies we did,
yes.
and his cucumber for lunch he was talking about. He remembered everything like it was yesterday, so... I don't know if good memory is a part of that.
Pieces of it. Like otherwise, whenever I ask him to do something, I don't remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, yeah.
That's why dopamine is such a great topic today.
Ooh, speaking of which, and I'd kind of like to know what your dopamine levels are like, but because I have a thing for that for me. Which we'll get to here in a second. Let's see if this works out. All right. How do you feel about the intro music? Is it good?
I love it.
Is it good?
It's I love it.
Okay, cool. I'm glad it works out.
It's like my happy dance food.
That's good, man. Happy dance food to all of you out there. I am Fred, one of the hosts here of the podcast, and this is
Julie.
And we're here with
Mind,
Mana, and the Maker. And today we have a very interesting topic, one that I've heard of before. And the beginning of it, I wonder if, like the drug dope, back in the 90s or the 80s, they're like, are you doing dope?
Yeah, but then they use that term for everything.
That's true.
Dope.
Now it's just dope.
No, that's not. They don't. You ask the kids, they don't say that.
Yeah. That's true. That one got thrown out. I saw a thing. I was watching a funny thing where this guy was using, I think it was Saturday Night Live, and like someone would use some of the terminology of the generation, and he'd be like, "Oh, that one's dead," and so they'd show like a grave site with all of the old words that have gone. So dope is one of them, unfortunately, but it's.
I don't even remember because I'm trying to think. What's up, dog was a lot when I was in high school. I'm just like. Okay, but then obviously Who Let the Dogs Out was also pretty common during that time.
It was.
But it was always the guys. It was not the girls.
Yeah. That is true. They come up with the new language of the day.
That was pretty common at that time. Aiden has an old one, but easy peasy. Aiden says that a lot.
Yeah.
It's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Like that is a very old one.
It is. Yeah.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Lemon squeezy. Yeah. No, that's good. And that's a good modification of that one. That one works because you go to the origins of some of these things, and there was like, what? Yeah. Okay, dope. Anyway, yeah.
But yes, so dope, was drugs. I don't know if it was a specific drug.
I think it was just general drugs. Yeah,
use.
Just like, are these kids doing dope? It's like, yeah.
But I think it was connected to marijuana, and that was a very lethargic drug for the most part. So I'm not sure that's going to give you a whole bunch of dopamine.
That's true. So when we talk about this dopamine thing, is that...
Did we say the title?
Oh, yeah. What is it? Let's do that. Do you remember the title of it?
I do.
Okay.
It's, I think, Diving for Dopamine.
Diving for Dopamine. That's so good. Yes. So today's episode is Diving for Dopamine. So what is dopamine? So
dopamine is a chemical in your brain that is produced in an environment if you're healthy and, have all of the production that helps with tasks. It helps with memory. It helps with getting things done. And so unfortunately, people have deficits sometimes, especially with ADHD. And so dopamine helps the focus, all of that stuff. And it's produced in your brain, but also in your gut.
Really?
So protein, if you've ever heard for ADHD, you need a protein enriched diet.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because that helps. More protein helps produce dopamine. And so obviously your gut helps with that as well as your brain. And so they're always like sugar is like the enemy for ADHD. It's like, it's that quick dopamine response of,
I see.
so a lot of times you want to have something sweet or unhealthy or carbs.
To continue that.
But dopamine helps with, attention span, being able to regulate emotions, all of these things. Yeah. And so it really is an important chemical that our brain needs. Unfortunately, with life and sitting down, that doesn't really help produce it. And so it's an instant gratification type of thing. And so we tend to dive for that in unhealthy ways sometimes.
Unhealthy ways. Okay. So, I'm curious to know what are some good ways. When I think about dopamine, and just my general existence, I feel like I'm a very dopamine filled person. I feel like my head, I feel like I'm not always feeling great, but I feel like if I do, I don't know, I have a general well-being feeling of well-being. I don't know if that's what that is in my head.
I think, not necessarily, that might be more serotonin, honestly, but dopamine is, if you can think of something. So my husband actually explained this. He's like, where with me, if I see lists, they're not super overwhelming. I usually can prioritize them pretty well. And then I get something done and I get this boost of like, yes, purpose. And I got it done. And Adam's like, oh no, it's just dread. There's just another thing. It's not this hyped up, yes, I got something done. He's like, that doesn't go away from him. He's just like that piece. Like when I see the laundry, I'm like, oh, but I know as soon as I put them away, I'm going to feel good.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's that fortune type of thing, knowing that keeps you going. It helps with motivation.
Okay.
And so if you've ever done something, looked at something and you're just like, I would do almost anything else but this. I'd chew off my toe.
Right. Like until we're presented with it. We're like, oh, never mind. I'm like,
what do we tend to do? We tend to go towards something else that does. Scrolling on our phone. That's a really fast dopamine dive.
Okay.
That's why people do it for hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. Isn't there a limit? So you said there's a couple I'm curious about the limit. If there's you run to a place where you have a dopamine wall kind of, or if there's any such thing.
I think it's just exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Okay.
That happens because how many people do it until they just can't keep their eyes open and then they fall asleep.
That's true. That is true. And there is a type of dope out there. I saw a video. It was just in this area and it was people were just laid over. They weren't even moving. It was really weird. No. Never seen anything like that before. Yeah. And then, what were you going to say?
I don't know. I haven't seen this video. So
yeah, I'll have to show it to you. It's horrible. And what's with people wanting to show, this is horrible, taste this, or look at this. This is horrible. Anyway. But one of the things I think about is what's the difference between serotonin and dopamine? I almost want to.
So look it up because I'm probably going to get them a little bit wrong. Serotonin is, if I remember correctly, so the sun helps with serotonin and it helps keep you out of depression. So look it up to see if I'm correct.
Okay, here we go.
My brain has not been fully engaged yet.
Hey, we're doing great so far, I think. So this is what we have. I think you're onto something here. It says dopamine and serotonin are crucial neurotransmitters regulating mood and behavior with distinct roles. Dopamine drives motivation, pleasure, and reward seeking, while serotonin stabilizes mood, improves sleep, and promotes well-being. So I think
your serotonin's probably pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Based on what you're saying.
Yeah, if I could even go to sleep. If you want me to show you, I can go to sleep right now. I could just sit here. You know how some people can make themselves cry?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you just make tears?
Well, I'd have to get into a space. I could make myself cry, but really? I would have to go into this part of the brain that has a lot of memory for me. And so I can't just do it physically. I have to go to an emotional space.
Interesting. Yeah. For me, I'd poke myself in the eye or go around allergens, allergy thing.
Fall camporee was, no, you weren't at fall. Where was it?
It was somewhere you probably saw me.
You were eyes were almost shut. It was Gillette.
No. It could have been there as well.
I think it was because your eyes were all puffy and red because we were by the horses and all of that stuff coming off.
Oh, yes, that was one of them. You are correct. There was one more recently at Carrie's house. Remember when...
oh, the flowers. That's right. Your eyes, like, you couldn't even see.
No.
Like, you're like, yep. So I just bring some flowers or a cat in here.
Yeah.
I don't like cats, so that's not going to happen. But
Yeah, I can't do the cat thing either. Yeah, so, yeah. And so there it could be, if there was a movie I was doing a set on, I'd have to just get a cat. Oh, he's crying, but it looks like he's having an allergic reaction.
Hitch.
It's like that. It's that bad. Yes. That's how I felt that day at Carrie's house. So there was that. But yeah, to be able to cry instantly, go to sleep instantly, I could just sit here and just eventually like go into my mind, and there's a sunset and a canoe, and I just row off into the
distance.
sunset, the distance.
So an interesting fact that I've had to learn actually about, because with ADHD, but I think it's most people, but more so, there's this thing called intrusive sleep.
Interesting.
So it happens a lot of times when you shift from something you're really, really interested in into something you're not so super interested in, and you have this exhaustion that comes over you.
That's a thing? I didn't know it was a thing. I was like, who are you, sleep man? Sandman always comes like right on time. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like,
is it the same time? Okay, for instance, when you think of kids when they're like teenagers just don't have good sleep anyway because they're up late. Their circadian rhythm just does not cooperate with their age. School doesn't cooperate with that.
Oh man.
And Kaylin's like, oh, and we were talking about something. She's like, I'm always tired, and I'm like, I know what classes it is too, and I was right. I called it. She's like. And she didn't want to agree with me because she's a teenager, but I was like, yeah, it's because you like dive as soon as that. I'm like, but I can guarantee there's other classes that you're fully awakened.
Fully awakened. Yeah. Wow. Incredible. So it's called intrusive sleep, you say. Wow. That's a thing. Look at that. I don't know if you all knew that, but that's something to remember. Okay. So, so we're talking about this thing of chasing dopamine or dopamine diving. Let's talk about that. There was a definition I pulled up that was incorrect.
So you said the anticipation, which I don't think it's incorrect. I just think it's also connected with reward. Okay. And so that's the part that it was like, it's a little bit off because you have that reward of dopamine and it's just like, yes, that satisfaction. I get that. Oh man, the best thing in life. And I still to this day, some people are going to be like, what? So I had this thing in college. We would get these little tiny homework planners at the beginning. I went to Union.
Oh, interesting.
And so they would, at the beginning, they wanted us to be successful. We would get this, and they had little check boxes for the homework of like you have your day and then activities and then to-do lists, and I had little check boxes. I love check boxes.
You love check boxes.
I love check boxes because I can just like check it and then I scribble through the event and it's like, it's done.
It's gone. Wow, how interesting. Wow.
And so what I would do is I would get all of my syllabi for the whole year or for the semester, and I would take one and then I would look through all of everything that was due, and I would put the due date. I would go through my homework planner.
That's great.
And I would put it when it's due. If it was like, okay, an 8-page paper, I would start 8 weeks out, and I would start paper that's due, and then it would be a title, and I would just have that done. Like, yes. I made I just did something. It was the title. That's it.
Wow.
And then the next week I would do like the table of contents, and then the next I would start filling things in. And so that's how I prioritized.
Oh, you're a wonderful student. Where did you learn that from? Like, that's my working nightmare is syllabi. Syllabi, like right now I'm working through one and I cannot follow it. I don't know why. I'm just like,
sometimes it might be the instructor too. Like I've not always, gotten, just because I could put the stuff in there doesn't mean I always understood the homework.
I hear you.
So there's that part, but
that feeling of accomplishment, I think that's a big thing, right? Because accomplishment, even if the activity for the dive or the chase of the dopamine can be something that one would consider like a waste of time, like you said, doom scrolling, it is a waste of time, but for your body, it's producing that chemical that you need to feel purpose and reward. That's interesting. And it's like, what is it in there? There's something particular that gives you that sense of completion, like complete. Like, I love how you said that because, the syllabi, just the way you described it, I could feel that, like check. And then not just check, line.
Cross, yes.
It's destroyed. It's completed, you know? So I guess it's like this feeling of completion is very important to us as humans.
Yes.
And so, you know, daily tasks, I'm trying to get better at that. But it's hard for me to get that feeling. There's things that make me feel like I accomplish things. And then
there is a saying, and I don't remember who said it, but I was really researching is why is it that certain people aren't motivated and the difficulty with that. But someone, I don't know, I think it was a motivational speaker probably, but action precedes motivation. It is not the other way around.
Oh, I hope you're listening because I needed that. So action
precedes
motivation.
You have to act. That's not going to start normally. The motivation doesn't usually start. Something else has to push you into that direction. So for me, it's like I am pretty good at saying, I know how I feel when I have my bed cleaned off from all of the clean clothes and they're folded and put away, and I hang that last one up. I'm like, it's just done. But that's not everybody has that. And especially with ADHD, there's a lack of that.
Oh, wow.
And so it's just this very, very low, feeling of like dread, as my husband puts it, but his medicine helps with that. And, that was one of the research papers I did actually in my master's is for ADHD. This was even before I had Aiden.
Really?
Is the importance and what do you need? The best combination to treat ADHD is psychoeducation, so the understanding, med management, and parental education, or like therapy. So parental education is in that, but then therapy, behavioral therapy, because you have to challenge those bad behaviors that we get into in that space. But all of that 3-dyad, which triangles are the strongest shape.
Yeah, that's cool.
Obviously with the Trinity.
Shoot. Okay. Let's do it. Hold on a second here. That's good. That's real good.
So when you look at that, and that's what they said, one corner over another, it's all important. Medication helps with, especially in kids, they need that medication to help with attention. They need that medication to help with accomplishment. Because what happens if you have that low layer, you're going to really struggle with school, because it's like, why would I do that? Like, there's no reward there. It just is dread all the time. And so that's why adding that in can. And there are natural things that can help, but sometimes just having that boost. It was hard for us to make that decision to put Aiden on meds.
On meds, yeah.
Because it's that internal, I something's wrong with me that I can't help him.
Oh my goodness, that's real talk. That's real talk. That's something we're kind of nearing with Ezra and trying to figure out. And then, we like to go the natural way with things, which I don't even know we can call that the natural way. We try to do like all these alternatives, but you come to a place where you actually have to
support with
put medicine or science, which is I'm sure the two work together. I believe, I'm sure of it. So, but getting to that place in here, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think we're headed there pretty quick, especially with Ezra. But as I think about the beginning and the end of anything, the dopamine dives. Is it that people feel that there's nothing are they feeling a lack of accomplishment or completion? Because you said, I love how you said at the beginning, you said action precedes, what did you say? Motivation?
Action precedes motivation.
Motivation. And so you're going and you're just doing it. And then you get to that place where you're in your room and there's the bed and all the laundry is folded. And so creating a space where you can say, complete, and I don't know how to create that for different people. It might look different.
And I think that it does look different, because for some people, we had to make it a game for Aiden, because since very young, since like 4, we have made the kids do their own laundry away. Nice. We switch it out, but we've helped them learn how to fold their own clothes.
That's cool.
And Adam helped Aiden learn how to pack army style. And so he packs everything like in a roll.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a reward system for him. And then it's like, how fast can we get these done? And with a lot of times with ADHD, it's breaking things down. So there is a breaking, because you see this big task and it's like, holy cow. You've heard the joke, how do you eat an elephant?
I have, please.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. And, fork, knife, I don't know. Preparation, I don't know,
And so it's the same. Like, you have to break this big old task down. And so we do with Aiden, he finds all his socks and he does that. And then he finds his underwear and then he finds this. And so we break that down and he just focuses on one small part of
Small
it.
part of it. You know,
Pomodoro technique.
oh, that's good. Pomodoro. I have one. I have an app, and it's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like little oranges. And like when you finish a stint of time, it has these haptics and it drops an orange down and you tilt your phone and the orange will like, orange
Yeah,
will
that's that dopamine. That's that. You're like, ooh,
yeah,
yes,
my oranges. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with these when I'm done. Orange juice. I don't know. But
vitamin C is great.
it's very good. It's very good. I heard bell pepper has a high vitamin C. I don't know if I didn't know.
I like bell peppers.
Yeah. I don't know where we went there, but yeah.
Vitamin C.
Yeah, vitamin C. Yeah. So it's interesting. So along the way, I love how you just define the along the way, because there's the beginning where motivation, action precedes motivation. There's the duration of the thing, and then there's the ending, which is the completion. And humans like completion. And you may live a life that doesn't feel like it has completion, but the during, I love how you said gamification, and that's a big thing for me. I go towards gamifying everything for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a natural tool that your body has made to help with that dopamine production.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Every single thing. And I love how you said with your husband, you know, the knowing the technique of military rolling of clothes, and then how fast can we get it done?
Yeah.
It's fun. And to me, it's all about like making like an XP system and leveling up. And there's like apps for it. It's weird, but
it is. It's like, ooh, I got this done in 5 minutes. I can do it in 4.
you can do it in 4. Yeah. So it's
and
like
I'm just
challenging
like,
yourself.
Okay. The amount of times Aiden has like sprawl out on the floor because he's running across the floor. I'm like, I'm fine. Okay. Maybe that's a great example, because what happens when we are diving for dopamine, sometimes it doesn't allow us to be intentional and aware of our surroundings.
Interesting.
And so we can be very hyper-focused on things that produce that in us.
Yeah.
And it might, for me, it may not mean any, like make any connection. Like games, like video games, they give me so much more anxiety than anything. I hate them. I will avoid them with all costs, but my son and my husband loves them. It's just this thing that's like, yes, I want to do this. And I don't know if you've heard of the game Nautica.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So it's an underwater thing.
Yeah.
Aiden loves it.
Yeah.
And my husband, he's like, oh, the sea scares me. He's like, it's the under things. But Aiden, for whatever reason, he is just very enthralled with this under the sea thing. I'm like, this just sounds like absolute bleh to me.
You know, it's interesting because I found this book I don't want to hate on him, but I think his name is Choi. And he came up with, during a time when companies were trying to find ways to market what they were doing through gamification. And it was a boon at the time, because you see it now, a lot of what he has done you can see it in a lot of apps and applications, and he's revolutionized that.
It's a psychology.
It's a psychology. And he wrote a book, and he talks about the different motivations or the different triggers that I don't remember the ones that he said, but something that does stick out in my mind is he talks about white hat motivation and black hat motivation. And black hat is kind of that, you know how you talk about it being kind of stressful, anxiety ridden. Yeah, that's where you'll notice it immediately. If you've ever seen games where, like, if you don't complete this in this amount of time, or your little, like I had this one for fasting, and it was for, or what is it called when you fast? Intermittent fasting. Yeah, thank you. I don't know why I didn't have that one.
I was just guessing. So.
No, wonderful guess. And so it has a gauge that kind of watches, and there's this little purple fluffy guy, and if you don't enter in your time and the meals that you're eating, he dies. He becomes like a little ghost.
Those like Tamagotchis for that, like that sad thing. It's like, uh-oh.
Tamagotchis. Yes, that's totally our generation. And to all of you who don't know, but they came back. I think they came
have.
back. Yeah.
I don't know. Some of those, I mean, I have live Tamagotchis in my house now.
Tell me about this, please.
2 children and 2 dogs.
You know, those ones are important because, you let that slip. I have these geckos, and I'm horrified. They're in a room because I feed them, but then sometimes I'll run out of food for them, and they're survivors. I'm going to tell you, these guys, and it's not animal abuse yet, I don't think, but like I'll feed them. And actually, you know where I got them from? You remember we were talking about Eric and Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Eric
Jason's daughter had her brother had these, and he kind of got to a place where he was just like, I'm done with these guys. So
they live a while, I think, if they are fed.
Now this is the key. Feed them and hydrate them. Do this with any living thing,
please,
and they will thrive. And so that's what was happening. And I took them, and Moses, it belonged to Moses. And then Moses, after a while, like he was done with it.
Dopamine for them.
He lost his dopamine for them. So they just kind of sat there. Well, they just kind of look like tourists. They're just sitting there. You know how animals, they look,
like Geico the gecko.
Yeah. And that's, for a while, we would play with that idea too as well. That's probably what kept it alive for them. But then after a while, like I gotten worse. A storm came, and if you scare them, they'll shed their tail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a defense mechanism.
It's crazy. That's interesting, really.
Because they grow back.
Yeah. Yeah, there is one kind that does grow back. The crested.
Oh, those don't?
Not the crested.
Oh, so they're tailless geckos now?
So one of them has just a little stump, and he's just sitting there, and he's just like, I don't know. He's just shrugging his gecko shoulders, and I'm like, I don't know what to say, buddy. And it's been hard because I keep forgetting. So I'll like chop up food in the kitchen. I'll give him like a burger, and I'm just joking. I'll give him like veggies or something. And it's just horrible. And so that dopamine goes away, and taking care of living things.
Have you ever, okay, this is pretty common for things. When you have a new thing, a new toy or all that, like you're like so hyper focused on it, you're like, yes, and then it like loses its interest and you just shift away from it.
Yeah.
How many, I don't know that you do. I'll be calling out other people. How many apps do you have on your phone that you no longer do anymore?
No,
my husband here.
No, I'm talking to you too. I'm one of them.
You're like, I haven't touched that app. Why don't you delete it then?
Yeah.
Unclutter.
Yeah. Well, there's a feeling in your mind that you feel like you're going to come back to it.
Yeah, but
you know what? Just for you guys and for the sake of what you said, I'm going to do it. I just don't want to let go of it. There's this one that's like,
you can always download it back.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm going to forget it and I'll never find it again.
Then was it that important to begin with?
That's a very good point. How does she do this? That's that therapist. I don't know. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is true. You know what? Today is the day, friends.
Accountability.
Yes, I'm getting rid of them all because I have so many and I don't use them. And so maybe I'll write it down somewhere just to kind of let me feel like I'm not losing it.
The Marie Kondo. Have you heard of her technique?
No.
It's okay. It was an entire thing on Netflix of letting go, like decluttering. And you're supposed to hold this thing. And if it brings you joy, you're supposed to keep it, but if it doesn't bring anything, you give it away.
Oh, that's good.
And so it's this whole thing of, is there anything connected to it? And sometimes you have to, because like some people, that runs in my family, not me, like to keep things because they may need it. They may need it. And oh my word, the amount of times we may need it and has never needed it.
It has never.
Then it's just like, get rid of it.
Yeah, quite the opposite happens too at times. Like I'm like, I don't need this, and then it comes back later, and it's like, where is the thing? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, and then you have like 50 of them when you go and actually realize you clean up. You're like,
that's another very good point.
I replaced this so many times because I lost it.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So bringing it back to this guy, Yu-Kai Chow is who he is.
Okay.
He has this octalysis framework. It's a human-focused eight core driver model behavioral design that moves beyond simple points, badges, and leaderboards. It's these, I'm trying to see the 8 different steps he talks about. Like, for example, epic meaning and calling, believing you are a part of a greater cause. That's a feeling that humans have. Yep. One of them is development and accomplishment. And that's the drive to make progress and overcome challenges. And so there's one, empowerment of creativity and feedback. The users engaged in a creative process trying different things. There is ownership and possession, the desire to own or control something. And that's something where in a game, sometimes like if you're playing Farmville or whatever it used to be or now is, you have
Sims.
Sims. You own that car in your brain, and you have these. You buy these things.
Yeah.
Moses used to play My Singing Monsters, and I don't know if you've heard of that. Do you remember that?
Like you would like get new monsters.
Yeah,
I can hear it in my head.
Yeah, and they sing so beautifully. I can't believe you remember that. That's incredible.
My husband played it for a while.
Yeah.
And then they made all of them different noises.
Yeah.
And so you could have like this choir of singing monsters.
They are a literal choir, and you should see it now. They have changed this thing. I know I have paid their electric bill for like years. And there was an era in our time that it would be silly, preposterous to purchase an app,
that
much less get little packs of digital upgrades.
things that don't actually exist.
Yeah, that don't
it's like
exist.
There's no tangibleness there.
Yeah. It just shows the power of like, I don't know, like you can own something in your head.
Yeah, that's how Bitcoin is.
Bitcoin is just like,
I'm sorry. It's like, but I mean, when you think about it, and Aiden actually challenging, he's like, if it's in your bank,
yeah,
but it's like, it's just a number. How do you know that it's there?
that's a good point as well.
Like, yeah, there's a little bit of faith that comes in that your bank is not going to screw around with your money.
That's true. And it used to be where bank notes were backed by gold, which I don't know if that's still true. So we're just printing it now.
I heard they stopped producing pennies. What's on the market will stay there, but they're not actually producing more. I don't know if that's accurate, but
I think you're right. Because I heard that. And then should we start holding on to our pennies?
We actually have a lot. We started collecting them after my daughter was born, and we were gonna like fill it all up and then turn it back in and fill to see how many we got. We have probably about half the. I don't even know where we got this. We do not drink, but it's this huge, big old whiskey, like glass bottle. I don't know how it got to our house. Adam had it from someone. And we started because when you get a whole bunch of coins and you use cash, it's like, hey, we'll just start putting pennies in here.
Yeah.
Don't tell me how some tissues and other things got in here. I'm pretty sure from Aiden when he was like 2. And he's like, ooh, what are we putting in here?
See.
Everything.
Something to put something in. Yeah. That's so good. Those 5-gallon water things are great too. To
Culligan
accumulate.
waters, I have those at our office.
Yeah. So if you fill that up, then, you can just start, filling that. But so there's social influence and relatedness, mentorship, acceptance, competition, and envy. There's scarcity and impatience, wanting something because it's rare or exclusive.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah. A shortage of anything. This happened. I was in the car with Moses, and he was eating an apple that he said was too hard, and then Ezra wanted it.
Of course.
And so the value skyrocketed. It was like tripled in value, and I was like, just give it to your brother. He was like, oh. He was like, he started taking more bites of it. I was like, Moses, I thought you didn't like it. I thought it was too hard. And he was like, oh.
I think teenagers just like to complain.
Yeah, maybe. But the value just was incredible.
Like, no, maybe it's a younger brother too.
It could
Because
be.
Kaylin like, I'm not giving it to him.
Yeah, there's a younger
you just said
bro.
you were full.
Yeah, right. There's some psychology in that. Absolutely. There is human-focused design, unlike function-focused design, which focuses on system efficiency. His method optimizes for human motivation and feelings, and then actionable gamification. And that's what his book is all about. And so he's done a lot of things with Coca-Cola, Porsche, Lego, Uber, and these things really work with humans. And he calls it octalysis. That thing I was saying about the white hat, black hat is when the reward is based on scarcity. So it's like, you're going to lose this, or there's not enough of something. And
you get a panic.
Yeah, and you get this little mini panic, and it motivates you, and you go. And I don't like that one. I don't like it.
No, but that is producing dopamine also.
Interesting.
So you can get this dopamine multiple times. Again, when you think of fight or flight, which is what that is happening. It's like, I'm going to take this away. Oh no, we're in our fight or flight now.
Wow.
But that dopamine helps with the adrenaline, and it pushes everything forward so you can keep yourself safe or fed or whatever the case
That's
is.
crazy. Wow.
So it's all intertwined.
So it's playing into that, my flight or fight. And one day I'm just going to look at it.
This is why I was saying, when you're old, you just don't have it anymore. You're like, I don't care. I'm not fleeing or fighting. I can't.
I can't. I'm in this chair and I'm not going anywhere.
I'll roll really fast.
Right. Oh, man, it's coming. It's coming for all of us. So we're talking about this thing, cue, craving, response, reward, repeat. Cue, craving, response, reward, repeat. This reward loop. And it's talking about the first scroll to the 100th scroll, which you mentioned. Like, I think it's called the law of diminishing return.
I trust you.
I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your seats in the upright position where, you're trusting the pilot here.
Bumpy landing.
It's going to be a bumpy landing. So it's this thing where if you get a pizza and you're like, I'm starving, I could eat this whole thing. And then slice 1 is amazing. And then slice 20.
So this I've noticed with ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream more than, I don't know. Pizza is really good too, but I really like carbs. So
they're so good.
But that first bite of ice cream where you can taste all the sensations. Like we got this coconut cheesecake ice cream from Brahms. That's so good. Wow. And I had a bowl last night. Worst time to actually have this is right before bed. But I was doing my January balancing sheets for that. And
I love that. That's how you unwind. A little ice cream, little finances.
So I was doing that, and I was watching the show with Aiden before he goes to bed, which is oh my word, Once Upon a Time on Disney. And so I was doing my stuff and but the first bite's always the best because you taste the coconut and you taste the chocolate and you taste that. But as you keep doing it, it's just not as good because your brain is like, okay, I've had this already.
Yeah, it's interesting because I notice people who are professional eaters.
Oh, they don't even taste their stuff. They just open and swallow.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if their threshold, because there's one guy, and I notice he'll be like, this is good. But then when he locks in, now he's just shoveling it in and sipping liquid to keep lubrication so that it goes down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that does to the body, but yeah.
Makes you fat.
Indeed.
Eventually, maybe they're not. Most of them aren't because I think they purge. I don't know if they purge. I don't know if they throw it up. Yeah. I could not eat all that. I would hurt.
Indeed.
It is a training.
It is. It's weird how you can train yourself to do about anything.
I've heard that for the first few days before, they just drink a lot of water to expand their stomach. I don't know if it's fully true, and then they have to expand it to keep it big so they can fit all this stuff in.
I saw one guy do it with grapes before he prepares for the hot dog. He eats a bunch of grapes and just
whole.
Maybe. I don't know. I never thought of that. Just large volumes or whole. That'd be crazy.
The whole chubby bunny game.
Yeah, that's funny. That's really good. I mean, we have to do that on the show maybe just for you. But so we've talked some about mind, a little bit about manna here, and manna can be many things. We've likened it to the actual manna, the flavor of that coriander / honey milk thing we thought maybe worked well if we dipped it in there, or it could just be a part of the narrative. But how it's food for thought. It's food for today. It's what you need for today. And I was actually watching I wasn't doom scrolling because doom is when you just keep going, right? Responsibilities
never ending, just like what am I doing anymore? Nothing.
Yeah. So I wasn't doom scrolling, but I saw a guy that he worked for the conference. Great guy. He's come here a few times, done Week of Prayer, but he was talking about, he has this class, and in the class, one of the students said, what if your bank account, how things expire like milk or cheese or food, what if your bank account balance, it expired daily? How would you spend then, And that was very interesting to me.
I use a bank account analogy too.
Yeah?
Because it's similar to that. I might have brought it up in here, but if I'm going to be a little off, but if you had $86,000 in the account and you took 400 away, someone took 400, would you be upset after having $86,000 and 400 of it got stolen?
Yeah, I would be like, what?
What's going on? You might be a little upset.
Yeah.
But would you throw the rest of the 8,500 6,000 or 86 away? Would you throw that away?
I would not. No.
Why not?
No, because there's just plenty there. There's just enough.
So why is it when someone steals 400 seconds of our day, we throw the rest of the day away?
Oh, that's good. Why are we doing that? No, that's so true. It's a scarcity mindset, you know? Man, how would I live my life? I wonder.
I mean, I think we'd be more intentional. We'd definitely be hugging longer. So that was something. So dopamine, going back to, so I told Aiden today, he was having a rough morning. So I was like, Aiden, can you give me a hug? And eventually he's usually like, no, but then immediately he will. And so he comes out, I was like, okay, you need to count to 25. He's like, why? Why do I need to count to 25? I was like, well, because when you go over 20 seconds and you give a hug, then there's this hormone called oxytocin that's released. And he's like, what does that do? I was like, it makes you feel loved and it makes you feel connected. He's like, and so he starts hugging me and he's like, 1, 2, and he counts all the way up. And he's like, and he undid it. I don't know that I feel different. I was like, well, but you got to realize it over and over. He's like, I felt different while I was getting the hug. I was like, well, that counts. But I was like, but we need to feel that connection.
Yeah.
But that also helped fuel all of those hormones together, like the oxytocin, the dopamine. I mean, all of that, the scarcity. What happens when we don't have that from people? And some people just don't like to be touched.
Indeed.
I mean, and so there's that piece. But there's
Are you one of those humans?
I'm okay. I can get overstimulated, but I'm pretty good with hugs most of the time. Like,
I gotcha.
I mean, I'm like high-fiving, like giving the kids hugs, but Kaylin doesn't like to be touched unless she is like in that mode.
Yeah.
And I can tell she'll come over and like lay her head on my shoulder and I'm like tapping her, don't touch me. Okay. Just like a cat. Like, I can touch you, but you cannot touch me.
Touch me. That's so good. You know, that was one of our challenges in one of the episodes previously.
Yes.
And I don't know, were you able to fulfill that in
that's
your
not
life
hard
with humans?
Because Adam, his love language is his touch.
Oh, that's great. So it is for 20 seconds or longer.
I think the actual like is 22, but I'm like, just do 25.
Yeah.
But I found up a lot of articles on it because there was a client actually I was working with, and we were talking about that, about they feeling disconnected from their spouse. And I was like, hey, you need to ask for this. Even if they're not giving it to you, you need to ask for this.
Ooh,
We got to
so
take
good.
advocacy for ourselves and our needs.
That's so good.
And yes, it can be hard if we feel rejection, but you could blame me as a therapist. Be like, hey, Julie said that this is needed. And I gave like 5 different articles that prove that they've done this study that these seconds hug release that oxytocin.
Man, this is so good. You've totally given us our manna for today. You know, I think one of the fears is rejection. And I love how you extended your profession out in a free way. That one's free. Just Julie said it.
You can use me as that. Be like, she's a therapist and she said,
that's right.
I need a hug for 25 seconds.
25 seconds. And so I'm afraid, yeah. No, and sometimes you get so, because I'm a person that kind of gets into my head, far into my head. I live there to where now I was telling Denise this the other day, because when we get to go mode, I don't even do eye contact anymore.
You're just hyper-focused.
I focus and I'm listening for what's the next instruction, for what fire is going to need to be put out, the next thing that needs to be done. And I'm just waiting. And then there's Ezra, and I'm just like, okay, buddy. And he's climbing on a table. And then there's something I forgot I need to send. There's just things that, studies that I have to do. And so I was like, I need to sit next to you and I need to be near you, is what I had said. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. That's a great manna for today. And I'm going to make that my mission today is the 25, not just the 22nd, over 20 seconds. So that is your manna for today. We try to stockpile these dopamine hits or binge now, feel good later. And it doesn't work that way.
It does not.
Yes.
You can't go to exercise and get a 6-pack.
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen the guy that draws it on the beach? He draws them with the marker. It's amazing.
Like, ta-da!
Yeah, from a distance, he's wonderful. And then as he got closer, I was like,
They can do a lot of things with makeup, the shadowing. And
that's so true. That's incredible. You can look like a completely different person.
Man, I mean, that's how catfishing works, right?
Indeed.
Like,
yes.
Oh, can't even tell that's the person. I guess it's good camouflage.
That's great. I would say there's some people that it's drastically. I don't think it's drastic for you. I think when we were in Gillette,
you saw me. Yeah,
I
do not have my eyelashes are very blonde.
I see.
So that'll be the biggest difference for me, probably,
Yeah.
if I'm not wearing makeup. Is I have very light eyelashes.
Well, it wasn't a double take thing. Like, who is that? Is there a new person here? Like,
I don't remember her coming with us.
It's the same thing at my house too. Like, I don't know. It's funny.
So, okay, but I'll be asking. So I was told this weekend, and actually, if he's listening, so
Indeed.
I was told this weekend that I started getting known to him as the yelly lady.
The yelly lady. Who are you? And where did you get that name from?
Okay, so he's actually part of the Pathfinder group, one of the other Pathfinder groups, and he told me in a loving way, I'll take it. He's like, yeah, when I heard you across the campground, and I was like, who's that yelly lady? I need to stay away from her.
You just stay away from her.
And I just started laughing because I do think I have an intimidating personality. I've been told that my entire life.
No kidding.
My entire life. And I mean, when people get to know me, thankfully that's different. But I've been told from as a kid, be like, oh, they see me across the room and I can have a very, very like intense look on my face. I think Kaylin gets that from me, poor girl.
She does. She has
this, but
we call it the brick face.
That's one name for it.
Yes, indeed. Oh yeah, I've heard of the other ones too.
There's another one for it.
Indeed. So many different kinds.
So many. And so he did. He's like, yeah, I heard. I'm like, well, that's not surprise. I've heard that from I am loud. I just am. I've been loud my entire life. I've had to work on that. But that's obviously what I'm known as.
Well, it's funny because we're not going to complain. People won't complain when the yelly lady is like, everybody down. Like,
get down.
We need to get, it's for safety purposes. You will listen to the yelly lady because it will save our lives.
Ultimately, from the very deep, I have a very loving personality, and I just want people to be safe.
Yeah.
I just want people to be accounted for, and I don't want anything bad happening.
Indeed. And I think that's why people need to get to know you, because I never got to hear the yelly lady before I got to know you, so I didn't know that. But I do. If I do perceive anything, I know it's from a good place of like care and love. Yeah, so I could see what you're saying. My wife is the same way, where she may come across a certain way because she doesn't. She's kind of. It's funny. Moses is kind of like that too. Like I'm always like I smile to show people there's no harm here. Yeah, they're just.
Kaylin does that though too.
Deadpan, yeah.
Because I know with Moses, when I've talked to him, he's like, oh, he gets this look like I think he's scared of me. But
well, it's funny. I was watching because I always watch his face to see how he
interacts with other people.
Yeah. And when you were talking to him at the when we went to do the pottery thing, like he was legitimately like grinning, like it was like so. Whatever you were saying, I'm like,
I think
wow,
it's
he got
because
through.
you were there. Like there was a help, but when it's just him and other kids, he's just looking at me like,
right. He's like, is this a safe space?
Yeah.
Is really what it is. And so people who are able to get that out of him, I feel like are safe people. So yeah,
sometimes
I appreciate
it takes a while.
Hey, that's all right. That's okay. We get there. Spend more time and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're getting to a place now where we're getting to the maker. And I wanted to mention a story from scripture in John chapter 4, verses 13 through 14. This is just a clip of this. And I wanted to ask if you can identify why this story would have anything to do with the dopamine.
Are you talking about me or them?
You as well. You're welcome to join, but to see what comes to your mind. Yeah. So here it is. Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Now, I'm gamifying right now.
Oh, yeah.
So what story do you think that's coming from? That's
particular... the woman at the well, right?
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see if we can give you some. No, that's not the right one. No, that's... So you got them all right. So there's a little dopamine right there for you, if that, but you've got the right answer. So can you give me that story? Are you a pretty good storyteller, like over this?
So you want me to like paint this picture for you?
Yeah, paint me a picture of the story.
So how I see this is this woman by herself is just probably coming to the well and thinking like, oh my word, I have to do this again. And people don't like to be around me, so I'm lonely. And I have this like task I have to get done. So she's at the well feeding whatever, but then Jesus comes up and is like, hey, can I have some water?
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, okay, you're a single guy. Why are you talking to me? Like, this is weird. Are you trying to get something else out?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, as a woman, I definitely have to be on guard with things.
Absolutely.
And so it's always that in the back of my hand. Okay, what are we in this for?
Yeah.
So
I'm Jewish. You look at the tassels and it's like, okay, Jewish talking to a Samaritan.
Yes. And so there's some like, what's going on? So I would guess she was very hesitant.
Indeed.
And so, but she keeps asking. And then if I'm remembering, is this the one where he actually calls her out? Like, actually, the guy you're with right now is not your husband.
Yeah, that's at the end. Yeah, absolutely.
There's some like challenge there.
There is, yes.
The dopamine part for me is like, well, yeah, I have to come to this water every single day. Like, of course I want something that I don't have to work so hard for. Like, what is this? Please tell me more.
Yeah.
And that's when that dopamine starts to kick in. You don't know what this is exactly, but there's a promise for something.
Oh, that's
and so
good.
now there's hook, line, and sinker. Like, well, how do I get this? How do I get this? So I never have to work again.
That's good. That's right. Because he's like, if you knew who it was, he's like, can I get some water? He's like, you don't have a bucket?
Yeah.
Jack and Jill, you don't have a bucket, and the water's too deep. And he's like, well, if you knew who was speaking to you, you would ask him for a glass of water.
Yeah.
And she's like, this water I'm offering you. And like you said, the offer, right? The offer, if this water that I'm offering, it's a
magic thing.
Yeah. It creates springs of water that burst forth from the inside.
Yeah, because water is a very important commodity at that time.
It is. It really is.
They have famines and they have all this and they have to have this so important, and that it takes a lot to get to that. And then what happens if it's contaminated?
Man, that's another factor. Fantastic. And so that already increases the value of this thing.
Yes.
And then on top of that, it seemed like to her for some reason that he was, because he already comes there with the tassels. He's a Jew. And so for her, she's a half breed, because the Samaritans were considered half breed because I don't remember how to say it right, but it was when exile happened, those were left behind. And so the Samaritan people were kind of like less thans, half like stepbrother, half, whatever. And so what ends up happening is she takes ownership of her own. She pulls out her card and she's like, well, this is my well, Jacob's well, And he's like, okay. And so then he starts making that offer of this water. And he's like, there's this part that I always skip over, which he talks about who he starts to prophesy. And that's, so first I don't know if it was the water first of the living springs. I wouldn't have to come here every day at noon, the hottest time of the day, if, you were.
Yeah, because she couldn't come at other times. She had to be discreet and come at different times.
Yeah, something was going on in her life. And so that was the secret part of her. And she's like, you couldn't possibly know me. You couldn't. And he's like, well, I got that water that keeps going, the magic water. Mm-hmm. And then also, why don't you go get your husband?
Oh, I don't have a husband.
Yeah. And he's like,
no, you don't.
Yeah.
Because the guy you're living with isn't your husband. But I can imagine, because you know how a lot of times you would think, especially if you've been, that would be a very shameful moment. But I don't see him as being shameful in this.
I agree. I love that you said that. Why do you say this?
Just because of how God's character was. He didn't shame those that were under. He was very loving and gentle and compassionate.
Indeed.
And so while we may be like, yeah, you're right, you didn't have it, be like, no.
He told her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're right. Like, the guy you're living with isn't.
Yeah.
And it was just the tone.
Right. I think tone is important because a lot of that gets lost in these stories. I think another thing is that what God's objective, Jesus' objective, is to get through the walls. And there's these walls. Wall number 1, female, single, Samaritan, and the last one. And it's like, I feel like he has this spiritual awareness. He's connected to his Father. And there's this one last step, because all he wants, you can see it from the beginning of time, is God with us. He wants to be with us.
I almost see this too, because one of the things when we're trying not to shame a kid, you need to get on their level.
Oh,
and so
interesting.
I almost see him like sitting on the side of the well, so he's more eye level with her instead of being taller than her.
Oh, good. Yeah,
like,
that's wonderful.
That's how I envision him doing that. So or maybe even a little under her, so that she doesn't feel as intimidated.
Man, I don't think that's a poor interpretation. I think that's a very powerful, because when you know the Savior, you know the way he is. You've experienced his love. I want to challenge you out there, if you haven't yet, taste and see. Take a drink, but it's a situation where, I could see him. There's this thing that's holding her back, and it's the one last thing. And so he prophesies, and she's amazed that he could tell her everything about herself. And so she done the spring of water actually does burst forth inside of her. So now she has water.
Yeah.
and she leaves her pot behind, and she's running. You know, you run down that hill that gets too fast as you're
And you
going
won't
down.
start tripping. Oh no!
Right. I don't know if I can slow down. Nothing stopped her.
It's like you're almost flying,
Right.
hoping your feet are going to keep going.
Exactly. And she probably did fly down there, or maybe she did go head over heels, and that's not
But
recorded.
she was
But
just so excited to tell everyone about this.
there it is. And so it looks like the reward changed.
Yes.
It used to be the simple reward of just some dank, potentially infested water. I don't know. It's good water,
Yeah.
very important water. In fact, a hot commodity, and with ownership that was, I mean, it had a big name. It was branded water. It was like Evian, you know, it was Jacobo
The
or
fancy.
Jacob. Yeah, the fancy Jacob water, you know, it's like that. And then now this new water bursting forth, the new reward. I don't know if that dopamine, Holy Spirit, you know, combination. And now she's talking to everybody at the town.
I mean, God is the one that made our brains, so obviously this chemical is something he produced in it.
So you're saying it's not the enemy?
No, it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. Agreed. And so there you go. There's an example there. And she goes, she tells everyone, and like she's well known in the town, you know, and for the wrong reasons maybe,
Probably.
but it was
That
used.
doesn't always, message doesn't have to involve the messenger in that way. Sometimes the wrong person can say the right message.
That's good. That's really good. And you know what's funny is that usually we worry so much about image, which is a side tangent, that, you know, you have to keep it. I think there's some accountability, of course, right? Because they were like, well, let's see for ourselves, right? They had heard of this Jesus. And so that's why I'd like to imagine that whoever you are, what station, what lot, wherever you're at, that there is accountability and that there are consequences for whatever she did in her life.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
She's given a way out of those consequences.
she pointed, instead of pointing to herself, which, I mean, she had to share what happened. She was pointing to the one. There is someone that, so she pointed to his character. And I think that's what the gospel is all about, no matter who you are, where you're from, that it's about pointing to the one. And so people came and saw for themselves. It changed the entire.
Yeah. And I see this too, because while dopamine obviously is involved or not involved in everything we do in our life, I mean, there's a consequence. She wasn't free of her earthly consequences. She had to deal with that. She was shunned. She was all that.
Very much
But
so.
God gave her, Jesus gave her that ultimate saving grace.
Man, I'll tell you what.
That even though in that life she had to deal with that stuff, she had something greater to look forward to. That's the epitome of dopamine right there.
I love it. Epitome of dopamine. Yeah. And now that's enough. The good news, if it's proclaimed as good news and received as good news, is enough of it's a reward that doesn't run out. It lasts for good. So
And I think the hard part, though, is because where instant gratification comes in with those scrolling and all of that, that can be hard when I think of The Great Disappointment.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
When they were like, yes, this is the day, Jesus is coming, and then they wake up and it never happened, and they're like, what in the world? That dopamine,
Man.
how disappointed they were, and they realized, oh, we got the wrong date. Like something happened important, but not because we are humans and we make human errors.
Yes, we do.
And nobody knows the day or the time. It says that in the Bible.
That's right. Yeah, that's so true. That's so
the
true.
fact that they had that in the Bible, but then they are like, we know the day and the time. Like,
Like, wait.
okay.
There's maybe the wrong version. I don't know what happened that day. Yeah, two pages stuck together. I don't know.
Well, that's really bad in recipes.
That was perfect, by the way. Yeah, that's a mess. I tried to make last night a Jamaican dish. I did. And
Did it come out?
It was mediocre.
Well, for future, if you make something, you can always bring something here.
Okay. I appreciate that, because what it is, they call it Johnny Cakes, and it's probably one of those foods that maybe somebody, a lot of these foods from third world countries come as a result.
They didn't have a lot of ingredients, so they had to make something do with what they had.
Exactly. And it's also, it's funny how they get fancy. They get, like, over time, then they become canonized and then elevated. Like, oh, we're going to have cowtail.
Well,
Like,
French
what?
onion soup is fancy, but it used to be a depression food because there were so many onions.
Perfect.
But now it's fancy.
Yeah. Perfect example. And so that's how this dish, it's called Johnny Cake. And I guess it's because it keeps for a long time. And, usually you make bread and it rises, but this is like, it's just flour, a little
Kinda like
sugar.
a pancake, a thick
It's
pancake.
it's better than hardtack, but it is like flour, baking powder, and water. And if you want to get fancy, you could put milk or something, or you could put a little sugar to kind of. And there's they're greens. It's like spinach called callaloo, and you get that. And
collard greens.
it's like collard greens,
Okay.
but they call it callaloo. It's probably similar family
Okay.
cousin,
Yeah.
probably just like you said, collard greens with a Jamaican accent, whatever, and so you got that. And I made it, but the dough, it was good, but the way we make it's a little chewier. And so I served it last night and they ate it, but it just wasn't like mom's.
It wasn't like, oh my goodness, the happy dance.
The happy dance. Is the happy dance music? No, that's not it. Oh no, I can't. No, this happy dance, it's not happy dance music. That probably would be a good time to end it, but here we go. But yes, so I made that, and it wasn't like I would have hoped, but it was good. I got enough dopamine out of it to get me
food
through.
that's probably one of the biggest and best dopamine
It
releasers.
is. In eternity, I wonder what food will be like, because there's got to be food.
Man, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Like I love food. I
Me
like
too.
trying food. I haven't had anything because someone else said like, hey, have you tried any weird things this last couple of weeks? Like, no, not the last. Oh, well, okay. So Adam got this Irish stew from, I think, Costco.
Oh,
Maybe it was
interesting.
Dylan's, but it's good. I don't like a lot of meat though, personally, but it had
Understood.
carrots and potatoes. And I was like, ooh, I want to try the French onions, the crispy French onions. And I put that in there.
Oh man,
That was really good.
That's cool. I love you and Adam are perfect because he likes to like bring in these different kinds of foods, and you say you like to try different things,
Yeah.
and so it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love food too. We go to the world market from time to time and just pick up something.
I mean, the Asian food stores are really good too. You will get some interesting things there, but I love mochi. I love
Moses
the
likes
chewy,
that. You like that?
I love the
Yeah.
like mochi donuts. Oh my word.
Oh, they have donuts.
Not there, but
Oh.
they have it moved to the west side, the
Oh.
mochi nut store. It
Okay.
was out east. I'm so sad.
Oh, they closed it.
That one they did, but they have somewhere
There's
else.
one
They
on
have
the
like a
east side.
Korean pop, I think that's
Yes.
by Feng Sha and by the East
Kellogg.
Kellogg, yes.
Yeah.
So I've heard. So they have the potato like cheese, like and the
Yeah.
hot dog and all that, and then they
Yeah.
have the mochi donuts. Those are
They
my favorite.
dress them up. They do all kinds of creative things. Yeah.
It's like
amazing.
elote, but in the
Indeed.
Asian style.
It's amazing how different cultures have different
So good.
versions. So good. Yeah, we're gonna have to do food here. I'll bring it here. I'll bring a food here.
I'll try it. I won't. I mean, you're far enough away. You can't see if stuff's stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. And I'll tell you, greens do it too. That's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. That's so funny. So we talked about this woman at the well, and there's this word that is in the Greek you may have heard of. It's called nephesh. And I like the Bible Project. It's called Bible Project, but he kind of does these short animated videos. If you ever get a chance, there's an app. I need to actually re-download it because it actually offloaded because I wasn't going to it. That's one I'll probably like
Add back in.
add back in. But it talks about this thing, the soul. It's kind of hard. A lot of tradition, especially when you go to like Greek mythology and some of those things, like we think of the soul like leaving in and you're like it's conscious up there and you're seeing, which is tough, a whole conversation when I do funerals and anyways, but that's a side tangent. But what happens is the soul, the breath that goes back to God, the mind, the body, and the nephesh. The nephesh is described as this part on your neck where the air flows in and out.
Oh,
So
so your esophagus area.
as the deer panteth for the water, as his nephesh thirsts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he thirsts. And so,
I mean, when you dive too deep and you're like, oh crap, you're running out of air, and then that first breath comes out.
oh,
of
that's
the water.
good. Wonderfully done. Yeah, perfect example. Yeah. And so, there's this deep longing. It was designed for God. It's dopamine hits tickle the surface only, and only God satisfies that
Yes.
nephesh, So if you ever hear the song As the Deer or sing it, that's great.
The deer panteth for the water. Yep,
Yeah, that's
that-
good. Hey, look at you. I didn't think you would come out and break out a song. I appreciate that. But yeah, And then there's Ecclesiastes 2:10-11. Solomon tried everything, and he called it chasing the wind, is what he called it. And then Psalm 16:11, in your presence is fullness of joy. And so
There's that completion.
yeah,
There's that theme of completion.
completion. Excellent. That's wonderful. So as we close here, some things. What are some things, some practical takeaway things that we can do that you would recommend? My mind goes back to the beginning part of action before motivation.
Action precedes motivation.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then
So-
there's the during and the end. Yeah.
I mean, everything. You have to plan for it. So I'm not a huge breakfast eater.
Okay.
But whenever I eat it, I should be more intentional, like to eat more protein enriched pieces. That's going to help with the dopamine production long term. Being able to break down goals if you have a struggle with something big.
That's a big one for me.
So a fun thing that gamifies it is, toilet tubes, paper towel tubes, get it? And just use that and say, okay, I'm going to move it around and I'm just going to focus on what it lands on.
Oh, that's good.
And so I did
a
this
good
with Aiden for a while in
Yeah.
his room. It was overwhelming. So I was like, all right, I want you to take this and spin around. And then what you open first is what you're going that's what you're going to address. And then when that's
so
done, you take it again and do on
Start
something
over
else.
again.
Because a lot of times and this is the opposite with anxiety, you're so hyper focused on something, you need to expand your awareness. But in this, you need to close off the awareness onto getting things done.
Getting things done. Wow, that's incredible. Man, I appreciate that. That's a very practical thing that we can do when we're trying to build, and breaking it into little steps is a big one for me. That's the problem. Eating the elephant. So as we come to this close here, there was a new dynamic that you introduced. Do you remember what it was?
I talk a lot, so no.
I love that. That's right. Well, you said perhaps taking prayer requests.
Yes. Oh, I was going to actually ask that. So yes.
Yeah. So would you ask our listeners?
So, okay. So actually, I was thinking about it and I messaged Pastor Fred. I was like, hey, I think we should add prayer. And he was like, oh my word, this is such a whole spirit moment. Because I was just thinking about how we do this. So what I was wanting to do is offer you guys the chance to let us know. It can say silent prayer request, or you can actually be detailed about it. And we want to add that to these episodes.
Yeah.
And I actually have a silent prayer request. I actually got texted by my family. So something's coming up. So I would like to add a silent prayer request actually for that, and because some health stuff, but we want to add that to you guys as a call, is if there's something, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on in our world and we want to add you specifically to our thoughts and prayers.
Amen. Amen to that. And, there's this thing that I think of how God answers prayer. And it's like we want the thing just reversed, right? And when Christ came to this world, that's what he was all about. Upside down kingdom, reversing the curse, healing the sick, raising the dead.
Yeah.
And we want that, right? We want that healing, and it would be, and it does happen. It does happen. But one of the things I want to offer to you in prayer here, and if you're okay with me closing with prayer, is that one of the things you can have is that peace that passes understanding.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that. It's really weird. You can be in the middle of the field. I think of that one movie with the guy who was lowering people over with the rope.
Oh, Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Yeah, you'd be good at like little trivia stuff.
I met him.
What?
I have a picture with him.
Ooh, do you have that anywhere? You don't
Yeah,
have
it's on my phone. I have to look it up.
That's crazy.
He was at a Pathfinder camp out, and me and our group got a picture with him and his wife.
That's cool.
So anybody, his name's Desmond T. Doss.
Yeah.
So in Hacksaw Ridge. So yeah, it's a little bit of a bragging right. I'm proud. That was probably not good of me, but man, that's such an awesome experience.
That's a good brag.
I didn't appreciate it as much at 10 as I do now.
Oh, you were
obviously.
10 years old?
I was young, yeah.
Wow.
I was the first Pathfinder, like new Pathfinder.
What an experience.
Yeah,
what a dopamine hit. I mean, well, I guess it didn't make sense as much.
I knew he was a big deal.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my parents told, oh my goodness, he's so famous. It's like if we were to meet Ben Carson.
Good call.
Because it's like he's such a big deal in our community with Adventist and what he brought to the table. I mean, Dr. Ben Carson with, what's the name of that? Gifted Hands.
Yeah. That's the one we all read in school.
Yes, it
yeah,
is. And so the book, there's a movie, and
see the movie.
it's really good. And so, it's like meeting those people that we know our entire life in that type of space. So
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Well, let's see here. There's some quotes before I close here with a word of prayer. And if you have any closing thoughts here, you can't scroll your way to satisfaction. God didn't design you for hits. He designed you for wholeness. Gather your manna fresh every morning. Your nefesh was designed for God. So you said you had a silent prayer request, health, family, things like that. My prayer request is now just being that intentional person, from the enabler to the, I don't know, something. Supporter. Very good.
like you can support them in doing these things.
Yeah, in this life. Excited for that. And also as well, you can leave it in the comments of any of the platforms that we circulate this podcast, whether it be Spotify or the YouTube channel.
And I also post on Facebook too, so people can see it.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. So, well, let's pray, shall we? Heavenly Father, what an opportunity you've given us. We're learning about who you are and these realities that you are a God very much in touch with the mind, very much in touch with the now, the manna, and that you are who you are. You're unchanging, you're loving, you're kind. Lord, I think about the prayer requests that were mentioned. I'm thinking about Julie's with her silent request. I am praying just in advance, thinking about those who have commented in the YouTube channel already, friends, family, other people, and just praying, Lord, as we're walking through these times, Lord, it's easy for the mind to become disoriented, and it's easy for barriers like the woman at the well, barriers that keep us from seeing you for who you are. Lord, I pray as we walk through this life and we have our blind spots and our obstacles and our hardships, that all of these things would be besides the point when we think of joy and the peace that passes all understanding. We invite you to continue to change us, transform us, and heal us. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, here it comes. Here it comes. All right, happy dance here. I am Fred, one of the hosts here, and this is Julie, and we're here with
Mind, Manna,
and the Maker. Talk to you next time. I saw your happy dance. It was pretty good. We're gonna have to work on that, choreograph that thing. Yeah, that's good. Oh man, that was fun.